Thank you. Oh, come on now. Settle down. You're going to spoil me. Thank you. That's nice. I love the sound of mass-heavy breathing. I thank you for the applause. That's very nice. Actually, you better applaud. Otherwise, I'm going to have Prince Andrew come out and spray paint you with a white paint. Crazy Prince Andrew. Did you see what he did?
Yep.
Prince Andrew, when he was here a week ago, apparently was at some factory or something, and they gave him one of those pressurized spray guns, and he turned around and sprayed the press. Not a bad idea. Well, listen, I have really nothing to say. Joan Rivers insulted everyone last week. Well, she really sings in there, doesn't she? By the way, did you all get the cream-filled Easter eggs I left on your seat? Anyway, we've been off for 2 weeks, and I apologize. I'm sorry I was gone for 2 weeks, but the Academy Awards just ended last night. That was the longest night I have ever spent. I mean, even the Titanic had the dignity to sink within 2 hours. I've got to reappraise that line of work. Anyway, I thank you for coming. If you're on vacation out here in Los Angeles, I hate to talk about smog. It sounds like an old subject, but we have today what they call a first stage smog alert. Can you tell? When you get it? See, in Los Angeles, we have a funny group called the Air Quality Management District, which gives you the impression they manage the air or something, but the air does pretty much what it wants to do. And we have 3 stages of smog alerts. First stage, your eyes burn and they're water. The second stage, you wheeze and you cough. The third stage, your Nikes disintegrate. I've not seen you for a long time because you were gone. You were gone for a couple of weeks before we were off for a couple of weeks. You were in Italy.
That's right.
How is Italy?
Fine. There was a little guy on the street corner over there doing a monologue. Looked kind of like you.
I was never in Italy during the war. Not true. Was that your first trip?
No, I've been there a couple of times.
That's a great country, isn't it?
Beautiful place.
People are friendly over there, and the food is great.
Yeah, but it's great to be back here.
Really?
Yes.
Well, it's great to have you back here. You're going to give a vacation report? Remember listening to school when you come back?
Yeah.
What I did on my summer vacation.
Yeah, right.
Let's have a report tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's hold Doc to that and have
All
a
right.
vacation report.
How long does it have to be?
Well, how long do you feel you can hold their interest? I mean, it's up to you.
About that long.
All right, 3 or 4 minutes will be fine. Anyway, what's happening? What? A minute.
A minute.
Okay. We'll try to squeeze it in. In a silly mood. All right. I don't know I'm trying to read what's going on. Reagan is not in the United States, as you know. The president, as you probably well know. Oh, come on. Come on, this is not a political rally. I mean, he's on his way to China for a 6-day visit. Now, the president is in for a big surprise. Wait till he finds out there are 1 billion communists there. As you probably saw in the news, the president stopped off in Hawaii, I guess for 2 days, so he will not get jet lag during his China trip. Reagan doesn't want to embarrass himself by dozing off in the middle of his regular nap. Did you see the picture that made all the wire services all over the world? Swimming in Hawaii? Yeah, the president was out in the surf, and it was strange seeing a Secret Service man next to him wearing dark glasses and a Snoopy tube. If you don't mind a personal comment, the president's swimwear isn't too hip. I understand for his birthday, Nancy's going to get him a pair of trunks that don't blow up in the water. While I'm on the subject of the first family, did you read that President Reagan's daughter, Patty, is marrying her yoga instructor? Yeah, she called the president and says, Daddy, I'm marrying a yogi. And Reagan said, thank God, at least you're not marrying Billy Martin. She thought, well, the welcome really has changed, hasn't it? You don't get many chances here. No, apparently Patty said to Reagan, she says, you'll love my fiancé. He's a California guy who meditates, eats brown rice, and sleeps on a bed of nails. And the president says, you mean to tell me you're marrying Jerry Brown?
Yeah.
Well, I can now report the suspense is officially over. The Soviet Union has apparently agreed to attend the LA Olympics. It was kind of touch and go. At first, they were not sure if they were coming because they don't like to enter foreign countries without tanks. Anyway, do you know whose birthday it is this week? No, the 50th birthday of who? Donald Duck.
Yeah.
Celebrate. Can you believe Donald Duck is 50 years old? If you see the pictures, you can. He's got a varicose beak. Wears a tail toupee. Did you know that? Donald is going through a midlife crisis. He's tired of being a duck. He's thinking of having a sex change operation and becoming a swan. That's what he's thinking about. I wish I hadn't thought of that. You're in a good mood. We've got a good show for you tonight. We have Mr. Martin Mull, who is here. Funny young man, comedian Jerry Seinfeld is here with us. And if you like puzzles and bizarre things that are almost impossible to explain, we have a gentleman who is the puzzle editor of Omni magazine, Scott Morris, with us tonight. We'll show you a bunch of interesting things. So we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah. Okay. We are back. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, guys. Good to see you. I'm happy to get back. You know something? I am happy to get back to work.
Me too.
I get antsy after a couple of weeks. I really do.
I look forward to it. It's great. But I have a statistic for you. You
Well,
said you're happy to get back to work.
Yeah.
Tonight's show,
Yes.
since you've taken over as host, star, is number 5,507 Tonight program.
You're kidding.
No. That's something?
I don't believe it.
5,508, I've just checked.
508.
Well,
Oh, that means another 10 years, I guess I get the watch from NBC. They're tough. You got to put in about 31 years.
A long time.
Anyway.
Yes.
That's all right. I got plenty of time. Don't worry.
Well, I can happen.
Okay, Bob, you're on twosies now.
That can happen. When you're doing these public service spots, sometimes you have to be very careful to get them exactly right.
Yeah, let me explain. We have to do this. Forget our regular show. We have to pause here because you have seen, you know what public service announcements are? You see them on television. They're usually a celebrity doing a pitch for the USO or hospital fund or Keep America Green or whatever.
Yes.
And they're public service announcements. And we all done them.
Sure.
Who have you done them for?
I've done them for the zip code. I've
Boy
done them for
Scouts.
the Boy
Yeah.
Scouts.
Yeah.
The forest fire.
They sent some today, and I was supposed to do this afternoon, and we got busy
Well,
with
the rehearsal went long, so you didn't have a chance to do them.
Doc and the band took a lot of time.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, I'm going to do these now. The way it works, these agencies send over the copy, and we put them on cue cards. And so I haven't had a chance to look these over, but these are various public service announcements for various organizations.
You get paid for this. This is something you do just because you want to do it.
Because I'm a good human being.
Sure.
So if you don't mind, we're going to... Kevin, you want to slate these, and we'll take them. How many we have? I think 5 or 6?
5 or 6, yeah.
Public service announcements?
Public service announcement, take one, number 1.
You ready?
Yes.
Hi, this is Johnny Carson. It wasn't too many years ago that women and minorities were denied the right to vote. Fortunately, that time has passed. But there's still one neglected group in our society that can't legally vote. I'm talking about dead people. If you're as concerned as I am about justice and equality, send the names of your dead friends and relatives to the really silent majority, Chicago, Illinois. Remember, a dead body is a terrible vote to waste.
Very good.
Public service announcement number 2, take 1.
Thank you, Kevin. You know, with all the bad news for America around the world these days, I'm sorry to have to report some more. This is Johnny Carson with shocking news for all true blue, red-blooded Americans. Did you know that the very richest men in the world are not Americans? That's right. The richest men in the world are Greek shipbuilders and, yes, even Hong Kong merchants. If this news makes your American blood boil as much as it does mine, there is something you can do. Let's all join hands in a national effort to make an American Tommy Newsom the richest man in the world. There are 225 million Americans out there. If every one of you would send in just $10, less than $1 a month, you'd have the pride that comes with knowing that one of your countrymen, a real live nephew of your Uncle Sam, is the richest man in the world. Send your $10 today to the Tommy Newsom Richest Man in the World Fund, NBC, Burbank, California. Thank you. Well, I mispronounced nephew, but we can pick that up after the show.
Yeah.
And do it. Okay.
Okay. Public service announcement number 3, take 1.
Johnny Carson here to talk about a crime not often discussed in polite society. I'm talking about lumberjacks who use innocent woodland animals as a frisbee. Next time you stroll through a forest and you spot men in plaid shirts tossing a furry creature, turn them in. Contact Beaver Heavers at Tacoma, Washington.
Public service announcement number 4, take 1.
Hi, this is Johnny Carson reminding all you parents out there the summer vacation is just around the corner. Why send your kids to the usual boring summer camp? Let's face it. Is learning how to make a leather Indian belt or how to row a canoe going to help your child in the future? Of course not. Why not afford your child a unique opportunity to spend a few months in a real guerrilla training camp in Libya? That's right. The little tykes will learn something that can really come in handy in later life, like how to toss a hand grenade into a speeding jeep, or how to lob a mortar shell through the cafeteria window of an imperialist embassy. The camp's filling up quickly, so send in an application today and help your child learn that there's a big, wide, wonderful third world out there. Contact Camp Gaddafi. Tripoli. Thank you.
Public service announcement number 5, take 1.
Couple more. Hi, this is Johnny Carson asking, you have a daughter who's a really good-looking chick. Well, you may be able to change her life and improve your financial status, because Prince Andrew is looking for a new girlfriend. Just drop a nude photo of your little nymphette in a self-addressed stamped envelope and mail it to Royal Affair, Buckingham Palace, London, England.
Public service announcement number 6, take 1.
Hello. This is Johnny Carson asking if you know the leading cause of accidents in restaurants. The answer may surprise you. It's leaving the restroom with your fly open. That's right. Each year, millions of Americans are embarrassed, are scalded by soup, hassled by headwaiters, and laughed at by busboys. The National Safety Council reminds you to zip up America. Thank you. Okay, that takes care of our public service announcement. We, of course, will send those to those various groups, and they'll have them tomorrow for national broadcast. Tonight, we have Mr. Martin Mull, Jerry Seinfeld, and Scott Morris, the puzzle editor from Omni Magazine. Fascinating stuff. We'll be right back. We are back.
I haven't seen you now. It's been almost about 2 weeks. I must comment on your outfit. That really looks nice. Is that kind of like a designer fashion?
Well,
What is it?
Johnny Carson suit, yes.
Oh, okay.
My first guest is the star of a new series on another network, as they say. Who are they? Called Domestic Life. He's also about to open another exhibition of his paintings. He's a very talented painter. On May 2nd, at the LA Institute of Contemporary Art, would you welcome Martin Mull? Well, Mr. Mull, how are you?
I'm very well. How
You
are you?
look
That was
well.
funny, the PSAs.
You like that? Have you ever done any of those?
Oh, Lord.
Everybody gets those to do, and
Yeah.
we do a certain amount.
The worst thing was when I was promoting my show that I can't mention on another network, there were things like, hi, this is Martin Mull. It's really fun in life, but measles are no fun for some people. That kind of thing where you have to bring it way down, or something. But a death in the family can ruin your Sunday night, that kind of thing.
So how's the show going? All right?
I think it's iffy right now. I don't think we
What's
have to
that
pick out
mean?
a stone, but I don't think we have to pick out furniture either. So.
Well, you've been through this before, haven't you?
First series ever.
Well, that's right. Of course, the other one went on to Fernwood tonight.
That went on forever.
Yeah.
Or it seemed like it to most people.
No, that's right. Anyway, you are a painter, and a good painter.
Thank you. That's my main thrust. That was what I studied.
Was that what you wanted to do? Do you consider yourself more of a painter than... You consider yourself an entertainer who paints or a painter who entertains? That sounds like David Frost, no doubt.
Great question. Gee, that's terrific.
Well, I'll answer both of you. I'd say probably, in all honesty, and this sounds like like being an ingrate or something, but more of a painter who does the entertainment industry.
I see.
And the thing is, that's because I think there's a lot of people that would like to be in the entertainment industry. And if you say, oh yeah, I work down there, what, I make $8,000 for one night? And people go, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They think that's the best thing in the world or something.
Right.
They don't realize you take home $40 at that.
Right.
But,
Or 20.
or 20.
Yeah.
Oh, you have my old age. But it's the idea that every painter I know has to have a day gig.
Yeah.
You either, you say, if you meet Willem de Kooning or Jackson Pollock,
Right.
and they're driving a cab, it doesn't mean they're a cab driver. They're doing that to support their painting.
What was your opinion when you first saw Jackson Pollock? Be honest.
I was
Now, he's recognized now as one of the great abstract, and it brought that form of painting. But, when you first saw it, you like abstraction?
I do.
Yeah.
It's not what I do at all, but I can appreciate it for its formal
Because people always look at
reasons.
something and say, what is it? And it is what it is, right?
It is what it is. That's about it. Yeah. And either enjoy it or you don't.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, I'm really enjoying
Is this great
No, no.
entertainment?
This is really, boy, I'm glad I come back.
Well, that's true, though. That's the only way to put it. It is what you perceive it to be.
Right. Well, Jackson Pollock was a guy who just dripped.
That's right.
He just threw paint and dripped. You've seen it. How many of you have seen it?
Jackson Pollock. He hangs in the Metropolitan,
Well, you can see he's doing well.
and he's the best known of
Yeah.
them. Yes.
He's not hitting percentage. But I like it. I like it a lot, but I pursue my own kind of thing.
If I came to you and said, Martin, and forget that we know each other.
Okay.
We'd be looking for a deal. I said, Martin, I want to buy one of your paintings. Say couch size. I always like people who buy couch size paintings. You ever see those ads in the paper? Beautiful couch size painting. Like you go get something to match the couch.
Nothing over $19.95.
That's right. Couch size. What would the price range would we be discussing? I don't want to embarrass you and be.
Well, first of all, you make it so personal that obviously the first instinct would be, honest to God, Johnny, really, you can have it for free.
Okay.
Now, if Ed came,
Oh, like that. What would it cost me?
Ed, we're talking, what do you make a year?
Talking about world-class money here?
Yeah, we're talking, the paintings go, I'll tell you something interesting about pricing paintings, and something I just remembered a while ago. When I was in art school, I was a dormitory monitor, which meant you handed out the sheets on Wednesday night and made sure nobody burned their room, that kind of thing. And for that, you got a few bucks off of your tuition and a place to stay. And there was a lovely little person there. There was a Japanese fellow who was making beautiful etchings, and I thought, well, this is great. The guy's 19 years old, doesn't have 5 cents to his name. He's done this wonderful etching. I got 25 bucks. I'm going to get this son of a gun.
Right.
So I said, I'll have that. I'd like to buy that for $25. He goes, oh, no. He said, you are asking for my treasure. You must give me your treasure. So $25 was out of the question, and I said something about remember Pearl Harbor and walked out of the room.
Put him in his place, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because he was shorter, I could stand up to him.
So you haven't really answered the question. I don't mean to embarrass you.
They go for anywhere between a really good friend getting a great deal and about $5,000 to $6,000 a piece.
5,000 to 6,000?
Yeah.
Suppose I don't want a background. You know, just
No sky.
no sky, no sky, and forget the sofa size.
Chair size.
Chair size type of thing. No sky, no background, and one coat.
Well, I got an ottoman size with no frame. You
Okay,
interested?
let's talk about that. We'll take a break. We'll be back here to Art City. We're back talking with Martin Mull. Artiste. Everyone is either a frustrated painter, you are a talented painter, or a frustrated musician, and everybody thinks they have that inherent talent, which they really don't have. I think you have to have a natural eye for being art. I don't think you can take lessons. You know, like that little matchbook cover you keep seeing coming out. Draw this figure.
Yeah.
Well, it's been out for 108 years.
Really? Do you really think that? Or do you think that people can learn it?
I think you can learn the mechanics of composition and drawing like you can learn mechanical engineering, you know, and anatomy. I don't think you can learn inward feeling about art. I don't mean to be heavy here, but, you know, there was a famous case years ago, the famous Dutch artist, the name now escapes me, not Van Gogh.
Rembrandt.
That somebody else ripped off, and they forged
Walter
him.
Keane.
No,
Wasn't
not Walter Keane.
No.
Vermeer? Was it
Vermeer?
Vermeer, wasn't it?
Okay.
Peter will know. That's
Vermeer. In other words, there were these Vermeers hanging in museums all over the world, in England, and they had authenticated them. Now, it turned out they were not done by Vermeer, but were a forgery. Now they had an interesting case. The question was the guy who did them a great artist? They were authenticated by, I think the British Museum had some, and there were like 14 of these so-called Vermeers, but done by somebody else, and so good. Now, the question was that artist truly a great artist? Were those paintings...
Well, let's put it in another vernacular in terms of art, and let's even take some liberty with the term art, and we'll talk about television. And that is on, we'll call it the XBC network. We'll make one up, okay? There's a show called My Mother, the Car.
Yes,
And it's a big hit.
I remember that
You
show.
know that next year there's going to be a show called My Uncle the Limo on the other network.
Right.
Which might even be better.
Yes. Okay.
Does that complicate the argument here?
Yes, it muddies it. It muddies it a little bit. Yeah, I think that's an extraneous thing.
Now, you're all going to vote, right?
Would you be interested in what the court decided? Or what they said about this man?
Yes.
They said, no, he wasn't. He was a great technician, a great engineer, but he didn't have the soul. In other words, he was copying somebody else's impression of something. Where Vermeer saw the beauty or whatever it was what he was painting, this guy was simply duplicating that. And while he was a good technician, he was not truly a great artist because the soul didn't come through.
I'll buy that.
Would you buy that?
Yeah, I'll go with the judge.
I don't know why I brought that up, but that's just was interesting.
Now, to me,
Not
it's
very, I
very
guess.
important, though, that you do what you want to do. Like, the pictures I make
I've
are
often said
very
that.
silly. I'm sorry?
It's just like it is what it is. You do what you want to do.
Yeah, and hey, your space, my space, Ed's space.
Right. I know where you're coming
Okay,
from.
I hear you.
Right. Right on.
No, my pictures...
Now, can I show them what
Yeah,
you do? You dogs. You have a thing about dogs.
I try to do the kind of little things that, like, little old ladies have on their shelves. Like little ceramic dogs or dollhouse furniture and things like
Well,
that.
it's better than clowns on black velvet.
But, yes, thank you. But the origin is from very close to that. You remember those little postcards you used to get of, it's
Talking
the
dogs?
kitty cat's moving day?
Oh, yes.
Remember that? Or here are the dogs playing poker. I think
yes.
that's the one we've all seen, etc. That stuff is just as popular as hell.
Uh-huh.
You know? And I figure,
Why not jump?
why do just a big yellow circle over a red ball? You know, when people don't know what that is. Let's go with the stuff they know, dogs playing poker, or in this case, a nice dog taking a bath.
I like this.
Do you?
Yes, this is an oil, isn't it?
No, that's actually an acrylic, very similar to oil.
Well, I wouldn't have noticed from this. Should have had this framed. There, you see? Oh, I like that. That's very, very nice.
Thank you.
Well done. It's almost photorealistic.
Yeah, it is kind of photorealistic.
Almost
yeah.
photorealistic.
That one's going to belong to Steve Martin, actually, wants to buy that one.
Is that right?
Yeah, he has 9 of my pictures.
You're kidding.
No.
Oh, was that one of those friend financial arrangements, or was that...
I'd like to think it was simply appreciating the work. I think probably it was a friend financial arrangement.
Can I get this without the rug?
Yeah. Or a different rug.
Or just put in just a one-tone...
A plain rug?
Yeah, just like a nylon pile.
And you don't need and you don't want the plumbing.
No, you can forget that. Take out and just put a one-tone rug in there.
You got it.
And no faucets.
Okay.
Then we got a deal. We'll be back right after this. Jeff Seinfeld is here, and Scott Morris is here. They're all here. I mentioned just a moment ago, Jeff Seinfeld is going to be out, and Jeff is not going to be out. Jerry Seinfeld is going to be, not Jerry Seinfeld, John Seinfeld. Let's bring out Jackie Shecky and forget the whole thing. No, it's my fault. Jerry's been with us before, and he's a bright young comedian from Long Island, New York. Appears frequently at the Improvisation in Hollywood and at the Comedy Magic Club in Hermosa Beach. Would you welcome Jerry Seinfeld?
Thank you very much. Well, I made it again. I did it. I got through another wedding. Earlier this year, I went to a wedding. It was a big thrill. I was best man at the wedding. And that was my first time ever doing that. Now, I was walking down the aisle, and I'm thinking about this best man. It's pretty, I was flattered, of course. I think it's a little too much. I think we ought to have the groom and a pretty good man. Quite a guy. I think that should cover it. After all, if I'm the best man, why is she marrying him? Best is best. Of course, the thrill of being best man was nothing compared to the thrill of renting a tuxedo. It's nothing like wearing an outfit that's already been worn by 80 different high school kids on the most exciting night their glands have ever dreamed of. I'm walking around. I went to put my hands in the pockets. I think I'll just leave them outside. The keys in one hand, the wallet in the other. Terrific affair. Had the rental shoes. You know those tuxedo rental shoes with the nuclear shine on them? A sunny day, if you angle them right, you can kill bugs. It's like a laser. Couldn't believe the groom got married in rented shoes, I just thought that was like, the guy's making a commitment for a lifetime. His shoes had to be back by 5:30. To me, it's like going bowling if you rent shoes. I'd be afraid I was up at the altar, big 8.5 on the back of my heel. I'd like to get married sometime, some way, somehow. I don't know how you do it. Women, I love women, although I'm frightened of their bathrooms. Boy, when they crank up some of that equipment, I don't even want to see what you're doing with some of the, the only one I'm afraid of, the hot curlers in that plastic thing with the spikes on them. That's a scare. Do you put those in with your hands or you launch them out of the box? Boy. I guess once you got the curlers in your hair, you can cook potatoes on those things. They maximize your time. The other thing that's happening in women's bathrooms is a lot of cotton balls. A lot of cotton balls. I'm just curious because I myself have never needed a cotton ball. I've never had a cotton ball, never bought a cotton ball. Never been in a situation where I thought, I could use a cotton ball right now. And women, they need thousands of them every single day. They buy these bags of them like peat moss bags. Steel straps, they drop them on the lawn with a forklift truck. 2 days later, they're out. They gotta get more. I had like 4 cotton balls once. Women left 4 cotton balls over my house. I had to rack my brains to get rid of them. I would go into the kitchen, I'd drop one on the floor like a little tumbleweed, you know. I thought maybe cockroaches would think it's a, dead town and move on. Actually, one time I brought one of the cotton balls to a doctor because I knew he was going to give me a shot, and I had like 3 to go to get rid of them, and I knew he was going to give me that little alcohol on the arm, so I just said, could you use this one? I know you got your own, I'm just trying to use them up. Took a penny off on my bill, and he gave me a prescription. I took that home, opened up the bottle, there's another cotton ball in there. But life has its moments. I've always said that. I was in New York recently. I always make a lot of pay phone calls in New York because I'm on the street, and so I made a pay phone. This probably happened to everybody. You make a pay phone call, go overtime on the call. As you're walking away from the phone, the operator calls you back. I love this moment because you've got the phone company right where you want them for the first time. Right? There's nothing they can do. And I've seen people run away from the phone. You ever see that? They go, come on, it's ringing, let's get out of here. Like the phone booth is gonna go, hey, wait a minute, pal. I always let it ring a few times, let her sweat it out. Then I pick it up, give her a hard time. Yeah, operator, I've got the money. Oh, I've got the money right here. You hear that? Tap, tap, that's a quarter today. I didn't think the connection was that good. You interrupted me a couple of times. Maybe we should take something off of that. I'm gonna think about this whole thing. Why don't you call me back? I don't know. I'll be in the general area. Ring them all. What do I do?
That's really marvelous material.
Oh, thank you.
It really is.
Thank
very
you.
original and very funny, and you're talking about things that everybody can relate to.
Cotton balls. Somebody's got to talk about it.
It's like wire coat hangers.
Yeah.
They breed at night. You can keep throwing them away, and you go to the closet the next day, and there are more wire hangers.
That's right.
Where do they come from?
I don't know where they come from. Well, the paper ones. I was having a rip. Why do they put the paper on the hangers from the dry cleaner? Is that supposed to help us? Are we supposed to take notes on that?
I don't know. Advertising, I suppose.
Yes, I guess so.
So how are things going?
Very good. Very good. I have a birthday coming up Sunday. I'm 30. It's a...
Oh, that's pretty
You know, that's a big one. The only thing I hate about birthdays, no matter what age you are, people always say, getting up there. I'm just tired of that.
Yeah.
Getting up there. Oh, you're getting up there. You're 5. You're getting up there. That's got to end eventually. I mean, well, I'm 110 today. You're there.
You're out there and beyond.
Yeah. But I'm having a good time.
That's great. I get
Death can end it.
Yeah.
Death can end it. You could be down there.
Yeah. Well, somebody once said, death is nature's way of telling you somebody wants to use the tennis court. Maybe true. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Scott Morris is here. Our next guest is the games editor for Omni Magazine. He's also the author of a book called Omni Games, which features some of the breast boom teeners.
You said breast.
I said breast, and you all heard it. Some of the best brain teasers in the world. Would you welcome Scott Morris? Let's get Scott out. You have some wonderful stuff in Omni Magazine. You have driven me absolutely to distraction with some of those puzzles, and you always think they're tricky, and it just has to do, I guess, with logic. But I quoted one on the air, I think, a few weeks ago. Didn't you have one in there? One of the question was, why are manhole covers round?
Yeah.
No, it sounds like it.
There's the silly answer, which is because manholes are round.
That's right.
And
but
then
there is another answer.
There's a serious answer.
Why manhole covers are round? And I remember I got one of them right. I didn't get the other. One, because they're easy to roll to where they're going. The second reason is they can't fall through the hole, and square ones would.
Square ones would fall through. If they turned them on the diagonal, they'd fall through.
You see? Stuff like that. Can
Silly
drive you nuts. What do you got for us tonight?
Well, in my April
You have
column,
one something about impossible stuff.
we also did a few months ago, years ago, you did the 3 red hats, which
yes,
drove people
that's
crazy.
wonderful.
We will not do that.
People still do not understand
I
that.
still get telephone calls when that show is repeated.
It's wonderful, isn't it? Great puzzle.
The April column, I have a series of things I call impossible objects. These are what I call a museum of the impossible. Now,
All right.
many people have heard about this. This is a pear
A pear
in a brandy bottle.
in a brandy bottle, a full size. From out here, it looks like a
Let me
full
put up
size.
some more bottles. Here.
It looks like a full size pear in a bottle with a neck obviously too small. Now, was that grown in there? Is that
That's one of the theories.
theories that you put
I
a small
get-
pear in there and it grew?
That yes, I get a lot of people say, well, they dehydrate the pear, they drop it in, and they add
It's not
water.
a bad explanation.
Another group says, well, they heat the neck, and the neck expands. They drop the pear in. Others say that the bottle's been cut, either down the side.
Is this
or
an
the
optical
bottom.
illusion?
No, it's really in the bottle.
It is in the bottle.
And you hit on the correct answer. It is grown in the bottle. In fact, I've got a photograph to show the audience.
Oh, I see. In other words, you actually look what they did.
If
You put a bottle over the pear growing on the tree.
On the tree. In other words, if you go through the orchards in France and Italy at the right time of year, you see for the whole growing season bottles wired to the trees.
So the fruit grows
So the
right
fruit
inside
grows
the bottle.
inside. They then cut it off. When it's much bigger than the neck, take it and add the brandy, sterilize the bottle, and market it.
Interesting concept. Now you have one with a small Rubik's Cube, obviously in a bottle,
Yeah,
with the neck much smaller than the cube. Okay. Now, obviously, this doesn't grow. This was assembled in the bottle?
Yeah. Bob Easter of San Francisco did this for me. He basically...
It's the way they build ships in bottles. They
Yeah.
put them in and then they pull this.
if you've ever taken a Rubik's Cube apart, each of these little cubes is part of it. And
that
he filled the bottle up to about here with sand, coarse sand, glass beads, so that he had a platform to work on right here.
I got it.
And then just with tweezers of his own invention,
together.
several tools, put it
Okay.
together inside.
Now we have here.
Oh, I have a story about that. That Rubik's Cube was given to a professor of mathematics at Lawrence Livermore Labs
Right.
in California, Harry Nelson, who came to work one Monday morning to find the cube had been scrambled inside the bottle. Someone over the weekend had played a trick on him.
Well, that would drive you crazy.
Yeah.
That drive you crazy. Now we have here a Coke bottle with a wooden arrow with obviously two rather large things on the end. And you say, how is that possible that could be placed in there? Okay. There it is. The arrow. Little arrow through the bottle. Was it carved? No, that wouldn't make any sense. It hasn't been.
I'm not going to tell. I'll let you work on it.
It hasn't been added to or glued. I mean, this piece wasn't put
He
through.
assures me, Gary Fauché,
It is all one
assures
piece.
me that there's no glue marks that are undetectable.
I think
and
I
that
know.
there's
I
no-
think I know what they did. Well, let me take a guess. They put this in hot water, very hot water, and compressed it, and then put it through, and it expanded.
Very good theory.
Would that work?
Yeah.
Is that the way they did it?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I'm not trying to be a boy genius, but that's the only thing I can think of is that.
Gary didn't want me to tell, but since you got it, I have to
Is that
admit
really it?
I've gotten, in the April issue of Omni, I did not tell how this was done or how this was done. I basically said I want my readers to give me their
And I
theories,
hit
and
on
in
this.
coming months I will tell you. The most common theory I got on that, the false theory, was that he grew the trees through them, and that if you went out to his backyard, you'd find all the trees with Coke bottles on them.
Here's another one that has a dowel with like about an inch and a half screw through the dowel, through there,
Horizontally.
through there. You see that?
The most common theory about this is that there's some kind of a hole that goes straight down the center.
Not true.
And you can see there is none. The most common theory I get from my readers was that this screw is not a solid piece, but is in two halves, and that you push it through the neck and the two halves pop out.
Not true, huh?
That's not true
That's
either.
not
It is a
true.
solid screw.
Okay.
And the answer is...
I'm sorry. That one baffles me.
That's
All right.
amazing.
I don't.
Let me show you some others.
I remember a magic trick once where you put a quarter inside of a Coke bottle. That was a pure magic trick, or a half dollar.
Yeah,
But that was something else. That was a gimmick.
Well, we're having a contest now, a $300 grand prize, in which I'm asking my readers to send more impossible things.
Okay, what do we got
And I
here?
have. Well, this is just, I made this out of Carson Production stationery backstage.
All righty.
This is a piece of your paper, and you can see that this flap here is enough to fill these two rectangular areas.
That's true.
And yet, how could it go down there? You can see there's no tape, no glue, no staples or anything.
Oh, wait a second.
How could that fit? Now, I will ask
I'm
you
sorry.
to let me handle it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because
I didn't mean to.
there's a reason.
What you're saying
it's
is-
very easy to accidentally
What
solve
you're
it.
saying is that.
How can this fit in both sides? It's called the hypercard.
Okay.
And the reason I'm asking you not to touch is because it's very easy to solve it accidentally without knowing how you solved it, just by twisting it.
Of course it is. Yes.
And when I show you, your reaction will be, I can't believe it's so simple.
Did you cut it with the screw in the bottle?
Obviously, it is not glued on there. You say, all right, that.
They did.
You want to show you?
Yes.
It is
Yes,
so simple. It's just one piece of paper.
Right.
That's all. Your mind assumed that this surface is the same as this surface because you've got a nice rectangle there.
We'll be right back. You know, we've got other things we want to do tonight, Scott. You've got to come back another night. This stuff is really fascinating, and we've got some upside-down pictures of some of us on the show.
I'd be happy
Would
to.
you come back with us?
Love
And
it.
we got some puzzles here. Good night. Thank you.